This is Steve Kalorin. You may recognize me from a band Woodfish, or you may recognize me from some of the YouTube videos that have been posted out there. I'm making this video because at my shows I get a lot of young bass players that come up to me and they ask me about how to do certain things and how do you get faster and how do you get more stable in your playing and how do you get more consistent in your playing. So I figured I would relate it to a gym and a bodybuilder. This is why I came down here to set up in this gym. Because it's basically about working out certain fingers, and there's certain very simple techniques that I've learned over the years. Many people already know them, but I have shown several younger bass players these techniques, and I've seen some really great improvements in some really young guys out there that are just becoming better and better. So I want to put a video out, and I wanted to explain this simple concept to some people. Number one, just the way that somebody that works out uses a gym that you see here. The gym of the bass player, the tool that you should be using, I use it on my phone nowadays because we have these fancy cell phones, is called a metronome. It's vital. It's basically like your gym. It's going to be used to help you build your muscle, your finger muscles, muscle memory. It's going to help you become more consistent, and it's going to help you just become an overall general better bass player. It's going to give you better rhythm. I use the one on my phone. You can use any metronome really that you want to use. For starters, what I do when I tell younger kids that are coming is I say start off at a slower pace on your metronome. A lot of people may already know this, but this exercise really works. I think I learned it years back. I think when I learned it, they called it the spider. I don't know what they're calling it today, but it's really important that you get this technique down. And basically, it's the old adage of one finger, one fret. What you do is you start off with the metronome really slowly. I'm going to throw the metronome off first just to show you. And you basically start off on the first fret, which is going to be your F note, and you go one finger per fret. And you go up one finger, one fret, one finger, one fret. Then you go up one string, one fret, and then continue. Then one string, one fret, and then continue. One string, one fret. And then the thing everybody gets confused about here is what to do now. Playing 4-string bass, where do you go next? Well, you keep going up, one string, one fret, so you go back to your D string. And you work your way all the way up the neck. Then when you get to your 13th fret, your pinky should be right there. On the 13th fret, you work your way back down. Back to your pinky. One string, one fret back. And you'll notice that when you do it correctly all the way back, you wind up with your index finger back at the F where you had started. So it's all one big exercise, back and forth. Now the key is that what you do is you start off slowly, playing it to the metronome. The metronome will help build up endurance and will keep you consistent through here. and down the neck. The concept here is that everybody, if you first start out, especially if you're a really young bass player, is that you're going to have to go really slow at first. So the key is to find the tempo at which you can do that whole exercise once without screwing it up. So if you have to start here and go really slow to build up the muscle memory, so you're 2, 3, 1. I'm actually waiting. That's a little too slow, but you get the concept. If you have to go slow in order to build it up, then you start off slow. That's the most important thing. A lot of, when I've tried to help people in the past, the one thing I've learned is that people always want to just rush. And then when they rush, they don't build up that muscle memory. They just want to start off being... It just sounds sloppy. The key is to get it slow first, then slowly build it up. Now, the idea is that play in a week at that same tempo. When you can get it at a correct tempo, say the tempo that we just did it, you can play that perfectly for 1 week straight, do that. Then the next week, bump it up one, bump it up another notch, bump it up another tempo, bump it up and bump it up and bump it up. And then go a little faster each week. And every week, you'll notice that you can go a little bit faster, but it feels like you're going almost at the same tempo as when you first started. I always relate this to, it's like you're driving a car. When you're driving a car and you're doing 50 miles an hour, you first start driving, you're out there and 50 feels really fast. And all of a sudden, you realize you're going 60 miles an hour all the time. You slow down to 50, it doesn't feel so fast anymore. Then you speed up and you're doing 70 miles an hour. 70 starts to feel like 50 miles an hour. It's all a matter of perception. So you'll start to notice that happen, and then before you know it, things will be a lot easier and you'll be able to play that exercise at a much faster tempo. And then once you get the muscle memory down, playing at a faster tempo, you'll be able to just apply that to your daily chops when you're playing songs, and you'll find that you're going to be a much more stable bass player. So anyway, I've seen big results from some of the kids that I've met through the Woodfish shows. I figured that I'd just share that with everybody. It's a really simple technique. A lot of people already know this, but I just know that there's a lot of young bass players that really love music, and I'm always trying to help share music, man. Thanks.